We were sleeping when we heard a crash of thunder as the rain started again. Everyone stared at the sky as they heard an engine approaching. It was Henry. We couldn't see him, but he was hiding in the tunnel. As we stood awake, we heard an engine coming from the far, a branch coming past. I think I heard him crying to us. When the rain stopped that morning, Henry came out of the tunnel. We told him of our experiences and he asked if we wanted to go up the line to Peel Godred to look for survivors since he was going to go there. Arthur and Douglas joined Henry, but Duck didn't want to go. He and Molly will stay behind at Elsbridge while we're gone. While we were on our way, Henry stopped at Wellsworth to turn around and refuel while we kept going. We reached the junction to Peel Godred and waited for Henry. While waiting, we heard a whistle. We saw Thomas at the coal truck brake and Henrietta fly past us up the brake. Henry came up in pursuit, yelling we had to go after Thomas. Arthur and Douglas both then gave pursuit to the green and blue engines. Caught up with Henry at Peel Godred. There Henry was just beyond the station. Mr. Thomas, he had a bandage over his mouth and a burn on his face. His crew said he burned his jaw off in the night downpour and they bandaged it up. Next to him was Emily. God, she was in awful shape. She didn't have any eyes and she was covered in burns but was still alive. Emily did her best to tell yous what happened to her when the rain started. Emily also told us how she thought she heard 2 engines pass by last night. Thomas' crew started trying to steam her to and bring her along with them. Boy, that was a mistake. Steam started gushing from her damaged boiler and leaking from her eye sockets. Thomas stared in horror as Marie's face began melting. Emily screamed as the boy exploded and killed her instantly. Thomas flew back and ran away from the site as we watched in horror at what just happened. Check the Kildane ironworks before we left. We went into the yard and what we found was absolutely brutal. There was Murdich and Diesel-10, both dead. Murdich's face was slammed into a truck while Ten's face was mutilated and has no eyes. The sight was disgusting. Douglas went back to tell Henry. Henry told us Ari and Bert were both dead. Douglas said we wanted to leave. Henry wouldn't let us, saying we had to pay our respects to them and see if anyone is alive in anyone coaches. We did find someone in Murdich's coaches. He said Murdich wanted to get off the island but was diverted onto the branch and chased down by some blue monster and crashed. After 10 came out and got killed. After a while, Henry left the street. It was almost 2 hours they got. Henry took off as we tried to keep up with him. We reached Kildane and we couldn't see him anywhere. Why was he acting so weird anyway, not letting us leave? I think something's up with him. We were sitting in Kildane when we heard an all too familiar whistle. Edward pulled up in front of us and he told us he was relieved to see we were all right. Arthur and Douglas were suspicious. Douglas then said he had looked for Mailer to that engine who chased him on the bridge. The 2 engines started questioning him as Edward told us the smart ones would have ran by now. His face started to disfigure and melt into a black void with these creepy eyes. We reversed but Edward chased after us, screaming and roaring. into the shed. Arthur started panicking as Edward's face extended out of the smoke box. This was disgusting. Arthur closed his eyes and screamed, waiting for the worst. Edward shot by and Edward went after him. We were sitting in the shed when the rain started again. Douglas called us on a radio. We found and he was up. He's hiding in Marion Yards behind those coaches there. Molly and Duck also called us too. Apparently, while Arthur and Douglas were gone, several engines passed by. Molly said they say an unfamiliar engine painted in black passed by with the first train. It was headed towards Nap, but we don't know if he was alive or dead like how Gordon was. Later they saw they were pulling 3 coaches and 2 trucks with a brakeman heading towards the Vickerstown Bridge. Doug also noticed that he didn't have Toad with him. I wonder where the brake van is. That Duck Molly arc. After that, Arthur was slowly able to fall asleep.